Damn. It's that time of year. Where everyone who's anyone, anyone who's anyone, or everyone who's anyway, there's lots of there's lots of people putting up NAM videos. I thought I had more time. But I'm already seeing NAM videos for 2026. All right, so 2 years ago, NAM 2024, the Vox people announced that there was going to be the new hand-wired series that was supposed to be as close to the original JMIs as they could get, because they reverse engineered and all this stuff. And at the time, I was in the market for an amp. My daily driver at the time, which happened to be a AC10C1, it was a very temperamental, finicky, unstable amplifier that, when it behaved itself, sounded really good, but it was definitely not an amp that I would have felt comfortable taking anywhere other than my bedroom. And even that, it was the problems that it had. It was becoming aggravating to use. So I was in the market for an amp, and I just hear about these, new hand wireds that are supposed to be coming out, and I was excited, and I thought, all right, here we go. They looked amazing, and now I knew that it was like, okay, they're not going to be, they every time they and all the companies do this. They're like, oh, we got it right. We finally got it. We made it just like the originals, and it never really is. But I mean, it still, I'm sure, would sound good. So would it sound exactly like the originals? Probably not. But would it sound good? Yeah, I'm sure it would have. And would I've been happy with it? Yeah, I'm sure I would have. So anyway, they projected that it would be, like April to June's 2024 that we'd start seeing these amps in stores. Every day I looked online for information. was nothing. There were no release dates. Nobody had them. It was starting to look like these amps were not going to happen, because at this point we're beyond their projected release, which they were saying it was going to happen in the summer, and now let's say it's like October 2024, and nobody even has one. So, NAMM 2025, and there's really just like not a lot of information about these hand-wired amps. I think they mentioned, oh yeah, they're still coming. They're just be patient. But they were really making a big deal about the current AC30 C2, but they just had like a different logo and different colored Tolex, but it was still an AC30 C2. Not a hand wired, right? So I had been saving, and I figured, all right, AC15 hand wired, about $2,000. That's what I was guessing. And eventually, I gave up on the hand wireds and figured, well, I've got the money. Why not just get a JMI? So lo and behold, all right, so there it is. And I know this is this is blasphemy in the amp world, but I'm running a 50 watt 10-inch connected to the 8 ohm tap, and I mean, it's after midnight, and I'm in an apartment. So if I was to be using By the way, if you are hearing abrupt volume changes, I apologize for that. There's nothing I can do with when I'm using the video on this phone. It's an old iPhone, and that's just the auto compression. It's not gradual uh, like the later models or the more current models. It's very abrupt, uh, and it's kind of annoying, which is why usually what I'll do is I'll use this phone for audio only. But it has a slightly better microphone, so also I've got, this is where I got like this little, free app for video editing too. So there's gonna be a lot more videos about this amp. This is my 1962 or 3 AC30. There you have it.